Well, hello and good evening or good morning, depending upon where in the world you are tuning into tonight. So, I'm so excited to bring you tonight's topic, and we're in part 6 of a 9-part mini series. So, we're now officially 2/3 of the way through this, and the last 3 topics are going to get even juicier than the first ones. So, stay with me on this ride. Oh, yes. There's a comment, let's see, little thumbs up, hey, which I'm so glad to see that because there's a software issue with Facebook and giving permissions. And so the software company I use and Facebook are trying to make that all work. So I guess maybe they've got that worked out. So if you've seen today's picture, I didn't post it to show it to you guys, but it's a selfie that I have with a wild pony. And it's really about climbing mountains because that's whenever you're like taking on a new goal, that's what it feels like. It feels like you have, and I actually live in Switzerland now, so we have the Alps. And it actually feels like you're staring at Zermatt Mountain and you got to like figure out how to get up there. So tonight's all about making sure that you're going up the right mountain and you're doing the right things to get there. The coolest thing is that, nowadays, women, we really get to redefine what our success looks like. And in fact, what we're doing right now, I've mentioned in a previous video, it was like a total fantasy 2 decades ago when my kids were little. So this is just the coolest thing to me that I get to sit down here and come to you live and and share some wisdom with you about the journey that I've gone through to find success. So, and it's just, you see all these people on the internet, and I have tons of friends out there that are doing just miraculous things that they could never have fathomed doing before. And it creates an amazing work-life balance where I call it like a workcation, where you can just have this perfect harmony and balance, right? But we want to make sure that that dream that's planted inside of us does not stay a seedling, and that we're going to just go on the right path to get to goal. Because who wants to waste time? Like, we've all spun our wheels with stuff and wasted too much time in our lives, correct? So it's about getting to your end state as quickly as possible. So with that said, I know vision boards are really, really, really popular, and they've been around, a long time. I mean, somebody try and guess like how many years that people have been doing these things. My only problem with vision boards is this, because I've been there and I've done them before, is that you have a tendency to kind of serve your ego and be very materialistic. You're putting up the cars and the houses and all these kind of superficial things. And so to me, that's climbing the wrong mountain. Does that make sense? I think those things are quite lovely. Hello, like absolutely. But it's almost like you might be doing it for the wrong reason. So stay with me on this one. So I want you to look at the big picture of what it is you're really after. What's the deeper meaning behind your wants? Because I am somebody who went after all those things, and I achieved all those things. Had the expensive cars, had the 5,000 square foot Little McMansion with a movie theater inside to boot. Absolutely. Been there. Empty as could be. Empty as could be. So it wasn't until I had an upheaval in my life and I started doing some really deep work and connecting with what it was really what I was after and what I really desired out of life, and put meaning behind that everything started to click. Like before that, I was like, why? I think yesterday I had mentioned about when you look at other people and they've achieved so much and you're like, why am I flopping? Why can't I make this happen? Right? And so I was really tonight trying to connect with what was the difference between back then and now, because power positivity and all the studying that I've done, but it wasn't connecting, and I was climbing the wrong mountain. So I have a course that's going to be coming out. And tonight, I haven't mentioned about anything that I have going on, but actually this whole Be the Girl mini-series kind of was an impromptu kind of thing. I'm actually working on another big project, and I'll discuss that more later on here. But I'm into like these different rituals that I do, and they're a little bit different. They're my proprietary thing, but one is the ritual of nourishment. And I've found that this is just so important to like connecting with my whys and what I'm doing, and fueling like the balance that I need in order to go after everything I want. And it's an absolute game changer, because you need that balance and energy in like 4 areas of your life. Sorry, I've definitely been battling something here. I think it's allergies, but I'm not sure. So for me, I started to realize that when I was connecting with certain elements, or if one element was off and I balanced it with another, that it was harmonious. And I started connecting to this. I was like, wow, this is kind of deep. So spiritual, mental, physical, and emotional. And so for me, the spiritual, and actually not for me. I mean, you can go and look this stuff up all online. There's tons of studies and information that supports this. But spiritual fire powers the energy behind your intent. It's that soulful connection to what it is that you really, really want. What is it that you're really after? Mental is air, and that must be in alignment with your intent. It's your thoughts. Emotions is the water element. And that tests your ability to be fluid and adaptable with your intent. And it's so important. I see people get just like completely locked into one train of thought, that it's their way. There's no other way. In fact, I have an example of, because I travel and I stay in different Airbnbs. And when you have an Airbnb, for the most part, you're responsible for cleaning, right? So there's always different cleaning supplies. There's always different equipment. And the one I'm in here now doesn't have a broom. And so I was like, gosh, I got to like vacuum up all the dust. Like I like to kind of sweep. So whatever. But I had an experience with somebody once who actually like the cleaning had to be done their way. And if you didn't do it their way, it was wrong. It's like, oh my gosh, like how could you do that? Like this is horrible. I'm thinking there's like more than one way to get a job done, right? So it goes into a little bit about yesterday with the whole adaptability as well. So I'm not going to spend too much time on that one. Then the last element is physical earth. And that tests your perseverance to achievement. Like that's your foundation. So these elements, in so many different ways, I actually get really deep into teaching this in my course. And it's actually part of a system that I've developed, that every day there's these rituals you go through to achieving your goals and balance. And it is amazing. It's been in beta mode. I've been using it for months now, and it's my go-to for everything. Like everything, if I open up this app, because it syncs between all your different devices, oh my gosh, it's so badass. And yeah, so in fact, before I get to homework, I'll tell you more about that because I don't want you to miss out. I'm doing this really in-depth training starting Monday. That's called the 5 Top Secrets to Living Your Dream. And there it goes. Maybe you've seen this ad floating around the internet. And so for 5 days, I have this, like, just not, like this week with this 9-part video series, it's been kind of just like, fluffy and thoughts. This gets like really, really deep. Like day 1, we're talking about your deepest wishes and how to like hone in on them and develop them. And day 2, it's all about like you having the power and how to tap into that in your belief system and how to shift that. Day 3, what is day 3? Your inner well-being elements. So we actually get more into this like balance stuff and harmony with that. And then day 4, we'll be talking about the Lucky 7 framework, which is the 7 rituals that I have created that every day I go through to make sure I'm on track for not only getting all my to-dos done, but achieving these big goals and slaying everything. Like it's just killer. And day 5 will be about foolproof goal attainment. So really big topics. And if I have like really cool things planned, I'm going to show you this. Like this is just a little teaser of the pre-workbook that I've set up. Let's see if that goes again. Look at how cute that is. Did a great job. So you can sign up for that at miraclerituals.com. I'm going to leave that up here so you can take a look at that. So yeah, absolutely. Help yourself, join in, get more content, because I want you to be the girl and to accomplish your dreams. And so just this is, like getting into, there's going to be like more workbooks, worksheets, like really getting in so you can put it more, even deeper stuff into practice, right? I'm going to actually like give you a peek into like the madness behind all my systems and stuff like that. So don't miss it. So now the homework. So we tapped into like this whole kind of, like superficial stuff and going up the right mountain and how do you connect with this. So looking at the big picture of what it's really you're after, because a lot of times you're like, gosh, I want the big house and I want the fancy car, but what does that really mean if you get it? Because there's a deeper reason why you're feeling that you want those things in your life, why you want like this certain career path, why you're committed to this, one thing in your life, and getting this dream. So I want you, part of your homework is I want you to look at the big picture of what it really is that you're after, because it's not bad, absolutely not. It's just that why will fuel you getting to your dreams. Like that's part of that fire that gets going inside of you, right? Because otherwise you're just like, yeah, I'd like to have a new car. But you don't really connect with it. You need to connect with your dreams. You absolutely must. And we want to know the deeper meaning behind your wants too. So like, what is it really you're after? What's the deeper meaning behind your wants? Like, what does that mean? And you can even get as deep, because this is going to be different for everybody. Everybody we work with has different stuff that this pulls out of them. Because it actually can go back to something from, childhood where you felt like a failure. And so achieving a certain thing, like, makes you feel like that's not the right story anymore, that you've changed. Right? So this is going to surface different things for different people. So just listen to it, let it speak to you, and let it call out what's bubbling to the top, if that makes sense. But just having like, gosh, I see like, Susie has this and I want it too. And I wish that, I could have a big closet. Why? What's the connection to that? And then write out those whys. And that's what's going to fuel. That's almost like starts breaking it down from the big goal into those little incremental bits. That'll give you the fire to go after what you want. And tomorrow, we're actually going to get into the little bits. And I'm just going to tease you with that one because there's some, you have the big desires, but then there's some little elements to it that are imperative that you shift in your life in order to be open up to receiving that big want that you have. Cool? All right, so that's it for tonight. Awesome. I'm going to go rest. As you know, yesterday, if you saw the post, I wasn't feeling good, so I apologize for skipping tomorrow. Feeling a little sweaty right now, but so much to do, and I was like, I have to come to everybody and give them this information and share it with you guys. So go to miraclerituals.com, sign up page there, some more information about it, but it's going to be super fun, and yeah, we're going to get that to you, and cool. Then you get a real peek into like my behind the scenes of how like the madness to my day and how I really achieve everything. Not just this like fluffy stuff, which is, it's part of the whole package. All right, y'all, have a fantastic evening, and I will see you tomorrow. Ciao.